The biggest driving force for the Vancouver real estate market in 2022 was rising mortgage rates. These rising rates led to a drop in affordability, forcing many buyers to the sidelines. For those that could still afford to buy, the uncertainty of how much rates could rise by and how much prices could potentially drop by led them to put their buying plans on hold and move to the sidelines as well. As a result, sales plummeted and prices dropped, considerably for some areas and property types and moderately for others. So what can we expect in 2023? Should buyers continue to wait or should they move forward? In this market report video, I'm going to share 5 factors that will have a big impact on the Vancouver real estate market going forward and why 2023 will be a really good time to buy. Hey, what's up guys? Manny Graywell here with Oakwyn Realty. I help my clients successfully navigate through their buying and selling journeys while protecting their best interest and helping them make informed decisions. Factor number 1, mortgage rates are stabilizing. Throughout 2022, the Bank of Canada raised their overnight rate at a record-setting pace to battle inflation. These rising rates dominated the news headlines, leading many people to assume that all mortgage rates were also rising at the same pace. But that was not the case. During that time, the variable rate increased by 4.25%, while the fixed rate only increased by a little bit over 2%. The reason why the variable rate and the fixed rate did not rise at the same pace is because only the variable rate moves up and down with the overnight rate, while the fixed rate moves up and down with government bond yields. Also, the variable rate continued to rise throughout 2022, while the fixed rate stopped rising in the fall and has actually come down a little since then. I'll talk more about the fixed rate in a minute, but for now, let's get back to the overnight rate. The Bank of Canada recently made a big announcement stating that they would be putting the overnight rate hikes on hold because their plan to reduce inflation is working. What impact will this have on the real estate market? The latest announcement will provide stability for the variable and the overnight rates and will help ease the uncertainty that was keeping many buyers out of the real estate market. This recent development, along with a lowered fixed rate, should help increase the activity as buyers that were waiting on the sidelines re-enter the market. Factor number 2, price stability. The Vancouver real estate market absorbed the drop in mortgage affordability throughout 2022. Sale prices declined from their peak and started to stabilize for the most part in late fall. The reason why prices started stabilizing in the fall is because many buyers decided to go with the fixed rate mortgage throughout 2022 and the fixed rate stopped rising in the fall. Many people didn't realize this because most of the focus was on the variable rate. But now that the variable rate should remain stable, the common consensus will be that prices should also remain stable. What impact will this have on the real estate market? Since perception can be reality, the buyers that didn't realize that prices were starting to stabilize in the fall will likely move forward now, leading to an increase in activity. Factor number 3, inventory. When it comes to inventory, there are 3 things that I want to point out. 1, in the latest news headlines, they talked about how inventory was up 32% compared to last year. But what you need to understand is this is based on the totals of 17 different cities that are covered by the Real Estate Board of Greater Vancouver. When it came to the city of Vancouver, inventory was actually down 2% compared to last year. 2, the current inventory levels are the second lowest compared to the last 3 times we had a major downturn in the Vancouver real estate market in 2008, 2016, and 2018. And 3, we have a lot of overpriced properties on the market. I'll share an example to illustrate my point using older detached homes in the Hastings Sunrise neighborhood. 3454 Pandora Street sold for $1,475,000 on September 27, 2022. This sale price was within the market value range for that type of a home at the time. There was another similar home that just sold in January that also sold within that same market value range. This shows support for how prices have remained stable since fall. But when we take a look at the current inventory of similar homes in the area, you can see that they're all overpriced. So not only do we have limited inventory, which is a common theme in the city of Vancouver, but plenty of that limited inventory is overpriced. What impact will this have on the real estate market? If we continue to have limited inventory, the increase in activity that we may see due to mortgage rates stabilizing and prices stabilizing may lead to an increase in competition. Now I know that the NDP has brought in the Housing Supply Act and have a very ambitious plan for increasing the housing supply. I fully support the plan, and I'm not questioning the genuineness of it, but I do have my doubts about its effectiveness and its execution. I won't have enough time in this video to talk about that plan, but I will be making another video on that topic. I'll also be making videos about the real estate market going forward, along with videos with tips for buyers and sellers to help them make informed decisions. If you would like to be kept up to date, please click on the subscribe button or the follow button. Or if you prefer, you can call me or you can email me. If you are finding value in this video, I would really appreciate it if you can click on the like button or the share button so others like yourselves can also get a chance to see it. Factor number 4, immigration. To help address major labor shortages across the country, the federal government has elevated their annual immigration targets over the coming years. Based on these targets, 2 million new permanent residents will be welcomed between 2022 through 2025. That's a staggering increase from the already record-setting 1.3 million that were brought in between 2016 to 2021. Why are the targets so aggressive? Let's take a look at an eye-opening stat. According to Stats Canada, in 1966, the number of people working compared to the number of people retired was almost 8-to-1. That ratio has been dropping quickly since and is expected to be at around 3-to-1 by 2027. So what impact will these targets have on the real estate market? Although many new immigrants may not be able to afford to buy a home right away, the ones who have already been here for a number of years, have held steady jobs and were able to save, will continuously enter the real estate market. Also, since the long-term goal of the current immigration plan is economic growth, around 60% of all new residents will be brought in based on specialized skills and qualifications. The path to buying a home will be much shorter for these skilled additions. If the NDP are not able to execute their plan of increasing the housing supply in time, which I am very doubtful of, we could see an increase in demand and competition. Factor number 5, tougher mortgage qualification rules. OFSI, which is the Office of Superintendent of Financial Institutions, is making 3 new rule proposals that will make it even harder for borrowers to qualify for a mortgage. The proposals will be open for comment until April 14th. Although it's not clear if all 3 proposals will be adopted, but once they are approved, they could be introduced as early as this year. I won't dive into the details of each one of these proposals, but I will provide a link to a couple of articles where you can get more information. You can access those articles by clicking below. What impact will this have on the real estate market? These new rules would reduce the amount of mortgage that some buyers can qualify for and potentially price them out of their preferred properties. Prior to these rules being introduced, we could see an increase in activity as these buyers rush to get into the market, which could lead to increased competition. All of the factors that I've brought up in this video will essentially lead to an increase in activity, demand, and competition. For those buyers that have been waiting on the sidelines, along with those buyers that are thinking about buying, now would be a really good time to move forward and get ahead of that potential competition. Prices have come down and are stabilizing, creating some really good opportunities. Good opportunities is a relative term. When it comes to the real estate market in Vancouver, a good opportunity doesn't get any better than being able to buy at market value without having to compete with too many buyers during a time when the market is down. Since inventory is limited, those good opportunities will also be limited, which is why it's essential to keep a close eye on the areas and the property types that are the most important and the most relevant to you. Be market wise, monitor what matters so that you can make informed decisions. If you're thinking about buying but don't know where to start, please click on the link below to get tips on how to save time and money and how to identify good buying opportunities. If you're thinking about selling and don't know where to start, you can also click on the link below to get tips on how to save time and money and how to maximize the sale price of your home. Or if you prefer, you can call me, you can text me, you can email me. I promise you that I'll provide you with an informative, pressure-free conversation. Thanks for watching and have a great day.